What's happening, BC Spirits? BC Spirits Spirit of Day number 46. And today is something very, very different. You probably know these guys for Victoria Gin and most especially for Empress Gin, which Empress Gin beat out Hendrick's last year in BC for sales, which is absolutely mental. But they do make some fun little things that are only available at the distillery. You don't usually see them in the stores. It's really just from the distillery door down Sydney. So take a drive out. If you're ever on the island, go take a drive out. Beautiful distillery on the water. Absolutely gorgeous. It's their creme de cacao. So this is their creme de cacao. They do a brandy. There's a couple of rums there. Being a commercial distillery means that they don't necessarily need to use agricultural products from BC. So they have applications that they make a sugarcane rum, and then they infuse it with chocolate from Ecuador that's processed by Sirene Chocolate makers, which if you haven't been to a Sirene Chocolate or tried a Sirene Chocolate, you're really missing out because they pretty much make some of the best chocolate in town, but they also are the ones that supply most of the distilleries here on the island with cocoa husks. And I've talked about my love of cocoa husks, especially Sirene's cocoa husks in the past, and the cocoa nibs. So it is one of these things that they pretty much supply everybody with their own chocolate. So let's kick it off. Batch number 7. Now, the thing with cocoa nibs and husks, cocoa nibs I find are super one-dimensional. It's very bitter, dry chocolate, like cacao. Whereas cocoa husks, because it grows similar to like a coffee bean, the cocoa husks seem to have this flavor that's a broad stroke from sweet chocolate all the way through to like dry cacao. So there's a blend there. On the nose for this one, again, like hard, dry, not overly bitter, but like that's leaning into that dry, bitter cacao sort of note. But you can tell there's some like cocoa notes under there, like powdered cocoa you would use as a kid to make cakes and stuff. There's definitely that element there too. %, not a lot of residual sweetness, which I'm always loving. You know that I'm not a huge sweet tooth. Really balanced. And I think they've done a good balancing job between the husks and the nibs so that you don't get that sort of like twang. Like I'm getting a twang right here, just in the back of my palate of a cocoa nib, like that super dry, almost bitter cacao. But then on the palate you gain this beautiful, round, almost sweet, but like not cloying sweet of the husks, which would giving you much more of a dimension to the cacao. No sweetness. So if you are going to throw this into a drink that asks for creme de cacao, just be careful of your sweetness level and add a little bit of sugar syrup just to punch up. Any sugar syrup will give you texture. This has got good texture, but being 25%, not overly sweet, not cloying sweet on my palate. If you throw this into like a 20th century or something like that, it's not going to come through as a sweetness level. But in a 20th century, this actually might be really good. Like a couple of dashes of this in a 20th century might be kind of gangster. So that's Spirit of Day number 46, the Victoria Spirits Cacao. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.